Well, we know it's getting colder out there, right? Chilly this morning, 39 degrees here in Albany right now. That means people are turning on the heat. Make sure you're staying warm. You also need to make sure you're safe, though.
Our Anthony Krolikowski joins us live from the Clifton Park Fire Department with what you need to know about staying safe and warm this winter. Anthony, good morning.
Good morning, Ryan and Christina. I know I've turned on my heat for the last week or so, and I don't like it when it's lower than about 65 at the very least. And we're here nice and warm inside, though, at the Clifton Park Fire Department. I'm with the former chief, Art Hunsinger, and it's also his birthday today. He woke up nice and early to be here with us, so happy birthday, Art.
Thank you.
Yeah, so just when it comes to it's getting colder now, and with that, with snow and whatnot, it's going to be on its way. And with this weather, how many more fires do you see as a department, and how active do you get?
Well, it varies every year. I mean, there's no set number, but it is a problem because dependent upon when the temperature drops, and it's never consistent, thank you, meteorologist, it turns out that people will turn on their furnaces, but they haven't done the normal cleaning, inspection, changing of the filters, all the things you really should be doing before you turn that thing on. And that's what causes most of the problems with failing heating systems in most houses, is that it hasn't been checked. People don't realize even with a furnace, you need to clean your chimney. So those become a problem. Or during the summer, the birds put a nest up in there, so that now causes a problem and can cause the thing to fail. So it's really before the cold weather gets here, they should be thinking about the maintenance on it. But unfortunately, most people don't think about it until after the cold weather gets here.
And then with our things like our space heaters or radiators or whatnot, where it's just out on the floor, there's other things you got to look out for, and how close you're putting things, what kind of dangers those can cause with your plug-in heating devices, and also similar things on the ground.
Anything that puts off heat can start a fire. So you don't want things in a tight area like having a space heater up near curtains in your living room or near your furniture in the living room, because it can get to the temperature of igniting that furniture. There's a tip over issue, that can happen, especially with kerosene heaters and electrical heaters. You don't want to be putting anything on them or put them too close to anything that can burn. And again, some people don't think about that. Their furnace goes down because they didn't maintain it. They'll throw in a kerosene heater, and they don't place it right. They don't give it enough air in order for it to work out properly. And the next thing you know, they have a small fire in their living room. So these are the safety things that people really need to be thinking about. It's fire, and fire burns. So you've got to keep it clear from anything so you don't have that problem.
And we know that things like power outages and stuff like that cause us to not have heat, or just say your heating system goes out and you might have something like a stove. And we know don't use the stove to heat up, but just tell me why and some other things not to do when your main heat source goes out.
Well, you don't want to be using your stove no matter what to heat, because again, when you build up that temperature, anything around that stove can ignite. We have those problems this time of the year where people forget they put plasticware inside to store it, or they leave it up on the top, and the next thing you know, it gets so hot it starts that stuff on fire. Now you have a kitchen fire. The loss of electricity, that's when you do have a problem with the furnace. Some people have, obviously wood stoves and chimneys, but again, all these devices need to be checked and need to be cleaned. And that's where we find most of our problem. It's not that the stuff fails on its own. It's the maintenance that's not happening before it fails that homeowners really need to think about and consider.
I don't miss having the wood stove at home. My dad would chop it, I would stack it, and I left it at that. I'm happy. The one reason why I'm not happy to live at home anymore is because wood stoves are a pain. But thank you very much, Art, and happy birthday once again. Maybe Christina will do a little song for you on the way out. But for now, reporting live from Clifton Park, Anthony Krolikowski, News 10 ABC.
Oh my gosh, you put me on the spot. Happy birthday to Art. Happy birthday. That's all I can do.
Thank you.
Yeah, Ryan appreciates I left it there.